is another beautiful day today. No clouds, just sunshine. It's been hot here on the West Coast. July was kind of cold. It was warm, but the nights were cold. Now, in August and September, we're finally getting that heat that I've been craving. I hope you have a nice cup of coffee or some tea. Today, just wanted to hang out, talk a little bit. Wanted to talk about why I am taking a break from fantasy, taking a break from reading fantasy books. For the past 5 years, all I've been reading is fantasy. Chronicles of Narnia, Harry Potter, Wheel of Time, and The Witcher. A little bit of Mistborn. And it wasn't until I took a break from Wheel of Time. I took a break with Stephen King. He was that gateway author that got me into other genres, other styles of storytelling. And lately, I've just not been craving fantasy. Fantasy has become a little exhausting to me. I'm a little tired of it. And not in a bad way. I don't hate fantasy or look down on that genre right now. I just want to break. I want to read other things. And I've made a few videos talking about some of the books that I plan to read this year, all of which are fiction, and some are westerns, and some are horror. One of the reasons I want to take a break from fantasy is there's just a lot of work that goes into reading fantasy, for me personally. I feel like I have to do a lot of mental gymnastics with fantasy. I have to keep track of all these names, all these proper nouns, and names of nations and cities and villages, magic systems and magic items, monsters and creatures, legends and myths. It's fun, don't get me wrong. I love fantasy. It is my preferred genre, but sometimes I just want to read a book that's kind of straightforward. Recently, I read All the Pretty Horses and Boy's Life by Robert McCammon. I didn't need to do a lot of gymnastics. I didn't need to keep track of all these proper nouns and names. It doesn't take a lot of mental capacity to know what Alabama is, what life was like as a child, as a 12-year-old boy, or being a cowboy and riding horses, having coffee over a fire. It's not hard to keep track of all that. It's easy to absorb that. I feel like I'm able to just not shut my brain off, but it's a little more relaxing. Like I'm not having to do homework. And another thing about fantasy is that it's very rare that there is a standalone book within that genre. It's always a trilogy or a multi-book series. And with life being so busy right now, it's nice to read a self-contained book from cover to cover. That's it. Beginning to end, I get the story. I don't have to worry about a book 2 or a book 3 or 4 or 5, 14. There's not this mental weight that's just pressing down on me or this responsibility to continue through a series. And I'm kind of exhausted by it, that's all. So the past couple videos I made, I talked about all the books that I want to read the rest of this year, in the months of September and October, November and December, none of which are fantasy. You know, I've got Anxious People by Frederick Bachman and True Grit, which I'm a little more than halfway through. It's a Western. Get to look forward to The Shining by Stephen King. Not a fantasy book. And all these books are standalones. They're self-contained stories from cover to cover. It's nice to pull a book off my shelf and know that I have the full story right here in my hands. There isn't this subconscious weight of responsibility that, hey, when I finish this last page, I don't need to rely on a second book or a third book to get the whole gist of the story. I've just been so busy, and I'm going to get more busy. A lot of people are booking weddings last minute, and September and October, busy months. When I open a book up, I want to be able to just read a story. Read a story that I don't have to jump through hoops to understand and remember names and nations and all that stuff. And maybe I'm overreacting a little bit, just a little bit, but I'm trying to get my point across. That's all. I'm trying to tell you why I am taking a break from fantasy. And I know I'll return to fantasy soon, eventually. For now, I'm okay with exploring fiction. You know, reading Cormac McCarthy for the first time, reading Ray Bradbury for the first time as an adult. Also, I tend to read alongside the seasons of life, the seasons of fall and winter and spring and summer. I try to match my reads with the season and with the weather. Do the same thing with my video games. If it's raining constantly and it's cold out, I want to read a cold, wintry book. If it's summertime and it's beautiful out, I want to read a summery book. And lately I've asked myself, why do I do that? I do it because it adds a level of immersion to my reading. You know, what happens if I'm halfway through a book and the weather just changes? Does it negate what I just read? Does it ruin that reading experience? I'm giving myself permission to just hey, to stop that. Read what you want, when you want, regardless of the weather. It's okay to read a winter book in the heat of the summer. It's okay to read a scary book in the middle of spring. I will say I do enjoy saving my scary books for October. There is something about reading scary books during fall. I don't want to hold off on a book anymore just for the weather to catch up. If I'm feeling a Western, cool. Why not? If I'm feeling a cold, wintry story in the middle of summer, just read it. I also don't want to rush through a book just to get it read in the midst of this rainy week, you know? So if you don't know, All the Pretty Horses is the book club book for August. And I just tore through this book within 2 or 3 days. First time reading Cormac McCarthy, and just wow. This was something unlike anything else I've ever read. Cormac McCarthy's writing style is so different, so unique, so ancient, almost primordial. There is a power and authority in his words. And it's simplistic and accessible, yet there's so much weight to each sentence. And the way he describes landscapes, my goodness, it's like a painting every time. I will be posting my review of that soon, but let me tell you, this is definitely an all-timer for me. Easily. And soon after All the Pretty Horses, I dove into True Grit. This is less than 300 pages, I think less than 250, and I got through more than halfway in a day. What a book. First time reading Westerns with All the Pretty Horses and True Grit, and it's like another world. What an experience. My wife has still been deep into Dungeon Crawler Carl, and she is on book 5 of that series. She likes to throw the dust cover off because it gets in the way. She had quite a busy day of work yesterday, and last night when we got into bed, it's quiet. We can hear the weird birds at night. She tells me, I'm sad. I didn't get to spend time with Donut and Carl. I miss them. My wife is not the biggest reader, but hearing that just makes me smile. It's really cool to see how Dungeon Crawler Carl has tugged at her emotions and feelings. Now she feels a connection with the characters and story. Now I just want to go on a coffee date with her and read our books. Outside of books, I've been playing Persona 5. I finished the Third Palace. And then we dove into the Resident Evil 4 remake. That's been fun. And speaking of remakes, Metal Gear Solid is coming out, and I kind of want to get it. You know, I booked 2 new clients, and I feel like I deserve a little treat. I've never played a Metal Gear game, and I feel like Delta would be a fun entry point to that world. Plus, it's not a 50, 60-hour game. It's a nice, tight 10, maybe 15-hour game to get lost in. I plan on filming a video with my wife where we will discuss our top 10 video games of all time. I don't know when we will film that, but that should come out soon. What do you think of fantasy? Are you tired of it? Are you taking a break from it? Or are you just reading nothing but fantasy? Is that your favorite genre? And as always, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day, out of your busy schedule to hang out with me. Maybe have a cup of coffee with me. Cheers. Till next time.